And we've got two readies on the screen. Let's go ahead and get this counted down for our Division 1A matchup between Cobra and NEK0. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. On the left, we have a roller out of the United States with an NTSC PB of 4,661,000. Welcome in, Cobra. And on the right, a roller out of Russia with a PB of 6,249,000. He's got the colors too. Welcome in, NEK0. Of course, both of these players have won regionals. NEK0 with the Russian regional and Cobra with the 2 Boston 2 parity. As Cobra playing 1 row up here. NEK0 has yet to burn. That'll be 5 in a row for NEK0 to start game number 1. Cobra just cannot get the right piece to solve this board right now. Finally gets the bar over for the Tetris. It's tough to have this kind of board when your opponent doesn't, and they are just not burning. I'm gonna have to take a burn here, though. That is not an ideal placement for that L. So 7 in a row will be the end of the perfect run for NEK0. NEK0, of course, coming off a 4th place finish in the CTM Mega Masters. His best such finish in any CTM Masters event. Both players get up pretty high here. They're waiting on a long bar that is not coming yet. That is a 30-piece drought and counting. There's the bar. Tetris for Cobra. And it does not come at an opportune time for NEK0. It does have the right side open for this one, and we'll get a Tetris there. 242 for NEK0, 207 for Cobra. Another Tetris for Cobra. NEK0 gonna bang one down the right side. $55,000 lead for NEK0 as we're approaching the halfway points of level 18. 130 lines until we hit level 19, which is a speed increase. We'll play 10 levels at that speed until we hit 230 lines. When the speed increases again, and we'll play another 100 lines of that. When we hit 330 lines, the speed will increase dramatically and very likely quickly end games if they're still being played. NEK0 was thinking about going dirty there, but bar comes 1 Mino too early, and as high on the board as he was, he decided, nope, not doing it. Cobra has taken the lead. Well, never mind. It's 370 points of difference between Cobra and NEK0. Neck and neck as we get some push down from Cobra. Not something you see very often from rollers. Simul Tetris there. We're at the Joey Parker turn. And these two players are pretty much neck and neck. Neck and neck. Another Tetris for both of them as they are currently on the same piece of the sequence. With quite different boards. Both bang down a Tetris there. Well, we're hoping for a J here. Line might have to do, but Wait a little. Oh, okay. Pieces did not cooperate there, so just gonna burn that out with an L. That was none of it. Oh. But we're having to take burns here. This is allowing NEK0 to take a bit of a lead here. 576 for NEK0, 500 for Cobra. Level 19 is right around the corner. Cobra still working on this right side. Can burn that out with an L, and a long bar would be a perfect well transfer. And there you have it. NEK0 going to have to... Oh, awkward transition for NEK0 here. Cobra's in at 528. NEK0's in at 602, about a third of the way up the board. Shouldn't be dangerous. Cobra now also getting high up on the board here, as the start of this transition has not been kind, really, to either player. Oh, that's a dirty Tetris for NEK0. I didn't even see him set that up. Oh, I got my eyes on Cobra's board over here, which is climbing higher and higher. That is a misdrop that's going to hurt, even with a long bar. Oh, no. All right, Cobra gets... Oh, he hangs the bar. I thought he was going to get that over. Between Cobra and NEK0, we'll count it down in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. As mentioned, NEK0 currently 4-0, has dropped 2 games, only to O and Redshirt, and swept Hydrant and Macy. But it's starting to get into the meat of the season, with games against Cobra, Cole, and Blue Scooty. Of course, obviously the Cobra game happening now. He's got a 1-0 lead there. Sitting pretty at a 93% chance of being in that top 3. Meanwhile, Cobra, currently on the outside looking in at 2-2. Swept Hydrant, got swept by Scooty, won in a decider against Macy, and lost in a decider to Cole. Still has to play NEK0, O, and Redshirt. Is currently sitting at a 9% prize chance, which means top 3. But don't forget, there's also a wild card spot. 2 of them, actually. And those go to the 2 players that are not in the top 3 that have the most points in both divisions 1A and 1B. So here in the early going, it is very close. 1,500 points separate the players. It looks like 11 pushdown points have happened on the side of Cobra. Oh, awkward board here for NEK0, but gets the bar just in time to keep things alive. And will get the square tuck. I would not have liked to have seen him try to get the square tuck before the Tetris. That was high. NEK0 now working through a little bit of traffic as Cobra is clean. Those 24,000 point lead probably going to come down unless NEK0 does something crazy here. But he will not. We'll just burn it out and we'll get the Tetris. There's a Tetris for Cobra with a 15,000 point lead here. Tetris for Cobra. They're trading scores. Tetris for Cobra. Echo set up. Just waiting on the bar. There it is, Tetris. We're halfway through level 18, 293 for NEK0, 288 for Cobra. And while these players are banging down Tetrises here on 18, I will remind you that we have our Matcherino prize pool down in the lower left-hand corner, $339.95. If you follow this link in chat, you have the opportunity to complete some sponsor quests, put a few pennies in there, or you can donate directly. Top 4 players at the end of the season will receive a cut of that prize pool. I believe it goes 50%, 30%, 10%, 10% for the top 4. And of course, with CTWC less than 4 weeks away now, certainly would be fairly helpful to those players be able to afford such events. We're approaching the 100 line turn. 477 for NEK0. 429 out of Tetris to get a 452 for Cobra. Cobra very active with the screen watching. It's something I have noticed so far this match. Both players definitely been able to handle 18 fairly well. This is a very close game. Cobra, the late decision on that S, but was able to get it where it needed to go. Tetris for Cobra. A little bit of an awkward stack for NEK0, but that can be resolved with this L, and indeed, just like that. Awkward stack? What awkward stack? No awkward stack here. $662 for NEK0 as we're entering level 19. Cobra will go in at 613. Some very high transitions from both players. But both players, again, get into a little bit of a spot as we start level 19. These transitions have not quite been clean today. And at top, you can probably see why. Because we have a bit of a long drought to start level 19. 28 pieces. Both players able to get through that and get set up. So 47,000 point lead for NEK0. That's less than 2 Tetrises. So we're getting another drought here. Look at this one. Oh, the double flip for Cobra. Oh man, this drought. Really painful. 36 this time. Back-to-back droughts. We got a bit of a diving board situation for NEK0. It's low enough on the board he can take it out, but this is an opportunity for Cobra to get back into this game. $774 for NEK0, 748 for Cobra. NEK0 setting up dirty center well here. We'll get the Tetris down column 7. And now going to set up in column 5, wherever you can find it. That's where NEK0 will score. Where's the bar? There's the bar for the Tetris. Didn't quite get the clean transfer. Oh. Okay, that seemed planned. Now that I saw what he ended up doing with that overhang was actually very good. Tetris for NEK0, we're in 25. Cobra back in 24. This is still a very close game. Tetris for Cobra. 196 lines, 879 for NEK0, 859 for Cobra. Cobra playing the 6-3. This is Tetrio. No bar. What are these droughts? Again, a 30-piece drought here. NEK0 will get the Tetris almost a max out. Not quite. 999. There's the max. 1,033,000 for NEK0. Of course, Cobra not that far behind. But it does look like NEK0 will have the advantage going into 29. Tetris 1,068,000. Cobra entering 28 at 979. I was just looking to get this clean before... Oh, hold on. Going dirty here. Well, not dirty, but center well. We'll get the column 7 center well into 29. 1,158,000 for NEK0. 1,024,000 for Cobra. Lead of about 4 Tetrises. Tetris for Cobra. Both players doing a little bit of cleanup here. Ooh, a missed tuck there for NEK0. Of course, that's very hard to do on 29. That particular tuck had a 2-frame window. NEK0 getting into trouble here. Needs to find a way to get this down. And is doing so. Cobra in cleanup mode. Cobra set up for a Tetris here. Where's the bar? Just has to take the triple. Don't be a hero. Take the triple. Oh no, he missed the long bar down column 4. That's going to be it. NEK0 gonna take a 2-0 lead. Sorry, not the 2 taps you're looking for. Game number 3 is NEK0 gonna sweep. Where's Cobra? Gonna strike in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. So game number 3. Ooh, this is a bar hang there for NEK0, and you can see NEK0 just not wanting to get into any more danger, so he's even taking the late burn here. Gets the right side settled, now has that dependency in column 3, is just gonna fill things up. And handles it fairly well, about as good as you can get. Tetris for both players, Cobra in the lead early on. That. Tetris for NEK0. NEK0 currently with a good looking board now. Both players neck and neck. Only 5,000 points separate them. The games have mostly been pretty close up until their climax, so... Had a very strong pair of 18 games last game. You know, a bit of a glove adjustment there for NEK0. Over like a board adjustment right now. What happened there? Whatever it is, it's cleaned up quickly. Tetris for Cobra. There's a Tetris for NEK0. NEK0 getting up a bit high here. He is going to be able to get things under control. There's the bar, there's Tetris. No hang on the square, but just makes an overhang that's easy to resolve. Man, going for that 16 left on the square. Ugh. Gets it done. Like, that was pretty good. Just seems pretty scary to me. Let's get it done. Cobra in the lead, 372 to 362. Neck and neck. Game number 3, must-win situation for Cobra. NEK0, meanwhile, 1 game away from a 5-0 start. Both players very low on the board here. Just banging away. Tetris is 477 for NEK0, 470 for Cobra, but Cobra is behind in lines. Nice spin there for NEK0. Will score the Tetris and be the first one to 500,000 and the 100 lines earned. Cobra will join him as we're looking at dueling 600k transitions again. Back-to-back games. Aw, missed spin there for NEK0. It's going to turn it into a dirty Tetris opportunity here. There's the bar, there's the dirty Tetris. And gets another one there. That's a nice stacking. We're getting pretty close to level 19. Line spin for NEK0. Oh, it's too bad Vandy's doing Masters right now. Tetris for Cobra. Will be the first to 600. NEK0 right behind him. As we're about to hit level 19. And there it is for NEK0. 625 is the transition score. Cobra already ahead of that and has 2 Tetrises remaining. There's one of them, 655. And that'll be 679 into level 19 for Cobra. Very strong transition game. And this time, both players are clean into 19. Which was not the case in games 1 and 2. Cobra trying to fight through some awkward pieces. Gets it done. Looking for a bar, but we have another drought coming in. There's the bar, there's Tetris. NEK0 with the Tetris. NEK0 7 lines ahead and only 2,000 points ahead. So Cobra definitely with a pace lead right now. But so far, these players have made this look like 18. A bit of a safety move there for NEK0. Taking some burns, but we'll get a Tetris on the backside of that. Oh. I don't know if that long bar dependency was intended, but it worked out. Tetris for NEK0. And then another Tetris. Over building up, gets the bar for the Tetris there. Another Tetris. We're halfway through level 19. 936 for Cobra, 917 for NEK0. These are going to be some early maxes here. Tetris for Cobra. Look at that, 996 on 24. Gonna have to take some burns, though. And that single there will be the max out on level 25. NEK0 gonna have to wait till 26 to get it, and we'll Tetris into it. 1,021 for NEK0, 1,008 for Cobra. But we're playing 2 rows off the bottom, scores the Tetris there, trying to keep the aggression on because he knows that NEK0 is not giving any room. NEK0 now with a couple holes in the stack. Well, oh, wait, no, those were not holes. Those were calibration issues. NEK0's fine. Oh, that's a hole. That's a hole he'll have to deal with soon, as we're approaching level 29 here. Cobra's still playing 2 rows off the ground. We'll get another Tetris there. I was going to think about trying to get this down, maybe. Not going to be able to before 29. In fact, there is no bar going into 29 here. It's Tetris for NEK0. There's a Tetris for Cobra. NEK0 actually has the lead right now. 1,185,000 to 1,181,000. This is so close. Level 30. God, there's less than 1,000 points. Going back and forth. Cobra set up. Looking for the bar. Has to burn. Gets the bar. Bang Tetris. 1,239,000 for Cobra. 1,210,000 for NEK0. Another Tetris, both players trying to stay efficient here, but NEK0 having to take some burns. We got a little bit of an internet blip for Cobra, but he's fine now. 1,335,000. NEK0 1,271,000. So about a Tetris and a half lead for Cobra. Tetris for both players, just like that. We are halfway to the super kill screen. NEK0 running into a little bit of traffic here. 1.4 for Cobra. But a bit of traffic on his screen. I have to clean that up. Wow, this aggressive setup works out for NEK0. Cobra in a lot of trouble. And it's going to top out at 1,410,000. NEK0, you're in a chase down. You need E11. And it's set up to do it with the Tetris. Oh, but has to burn it down. Set up again. Just needs a bar. There it is. Bang! Tetris! NEK0 is good and will take the match in a sweep. 3-0. Another Tetris to go to 1,549,000, and let's see that double kill screen, shall we? Or not. Either way. There's your winner! NEK0 take it in a sweep! We'll move to 5-0 on the season. Who's going to be the first to crack with these perfect records hanging around this late in the season? We'll have to find out. GG's!
If you're trying to go for that 4th Tetris, we'll get the 4th Tetris. But now it's going to be playing pretty much 18-4. Well, maybe, well, with that amount garbage, it's more like 18-2. But we'll also have some nice stacking on top of that. Meme was a bit high, gets the bar, gets the Tetris, will take the lead early on, as Dangler has quite a lot of digging to work through here. We'll get a bar for that left-hand side dependency. Brings the board down with a Tetris. Very dirty Tetris there, but Meme is for the most part clean. Oh, mischief with that T for Meme. If she was about to get clean, is going to force her into some more digging. Has a bar dependency as a drought is forming. And Dangler getting clean is going to get a row 3 Tetris. Board coming back together. As Memes is really not. Opens up that center. It's going to turn into a bar dependency. Going to take the triple there. 38,000 point lead still for Meme. As Dangler, it's going to be a nice L spin for Dangler, but Meme is going to get herself clean. 205 for Meme. 171 for Dangler. Meme takes a skipping Tetris there up to 230. Dangler gets the bar and the Tetris up to 194. So Meme holding onto this Tetris and a half lead through the first 60 lines. Tetris for Dangler, Tetris for Meme. Tetris for Dangler. It's for Meme. 302. And they're sort of just chilling now. Just some early roughness. Plays them nice and clean. Tetrising through this. Lead not really changing by much. Little tray of Tetrises. Meme makes the bar dependency turn for J dependency into a bar dependency as J was coming. Now it's going to be up a bit high, turns that bar dependency into a left well Tetris and gets the left one Tetris. Oof. Didn't really have much other option, but that will pay off for me. Brings the board down with a triple and a double. Hello Warband, rooting for the Dangler. Tetris for Dangler, up to 378. He's behind by a Tetris and actually has 5 lines in hand, so the pace has equaled up. So we're getting past the 100 line mark. Tetris for Dangler. 0.08 Tetris behind and has a line in hand. So yeah, the pace is neck and neck now. Tetris for Meme. Tetris for Meme. Dangler set up nice and high, nice and Tetris ready, gets the bar, gets the Tetris. Oh, gets another bar, another Tetris. Is going to make a 3 high bits on that right hand side. The bar's going to come, it's just going to take a skim. Oh, nice burn there for Dangler. Is going to open up that column 9 Tetris opportunity. Gets the bar, gets the Tetris up to 494, behind by 1,000 points. Meme really blocked off well. Up, I mean, what would be significantly high for most players, but for a player like me, it's just a day at the office. We'll get a bar, get a Tetris, bring the board down, nice and easy. 2 lines to go till transition. For me, ball Tetris into transition 546, Dangler Tetris is to 520, still a Tetris left. Tetris into transition for Dangler 544, so 2,000 point lead for Meme into transition. It is really neck and neck into these 19 speeds. Meme up high waiting for the bar, was a bit of a drought, but gets the bar, gets the Tetris. Dangler also now waiting for this same bar with some LJ dependencies, has to block off the well, reopens it, gets the bar, gets the Tetris. As that L dependency turns into a bar dependency as the bar comes, Tetris for Meme. Dangler is open. Tetris for Meme, Tetris for Dangler. Tetris for Meme. Meme now with a 3 Tetris lead, but is 10 lines in the future, so Tetris for Dangler. I think Meme still has the pace lead there. 2.5 Tetris lead and 6 lines in the future is Meme, so yes, definitive Tetris of pace lead for Meme. Is Dangler going to take a couple more burns, has to pass up that bar for the Tetris because he was not open. Taking some more skims to try and even out that left hand side. This is another long bar that he can't use. Meme takes a triple, blocks off the well but reopens it quickly. Gets the bar, gets the Tetris, and forging more of a path into the lead. Hello Yobi. But Dangler has gotten himself clean and gets the bar, gets the Tetris. 805 for Meme, 707 for Dangler, who is only 3 lines behind. Tetris is into 24, 737, so a 70,000 point pace lead and 100,000 point real-time lead, but now 70,000 points in both pace and real-time for Meme. 835 to 767, Tetris for Meme. Tetris, oh no, Dangler setting up from the double well for a Tetris, gets the bar, gets the Tetris. Into 25, already more than halfway through these 19 speeds, 29 speeds quickly approaching. Just because these players are going to be hitting the kill screen does not at all mean this game is anywhere near over. Meme keeping this solid lead, but it's going to have to block off the well. Gets the T though, nicely going to reopen, nice and clean. Tetris ready, where's the bar? Getting drafted a bit, but gets the bar, gets the Tetris up to 997. Tetris for Dangler, 932 into level 27. Meme going in at AO1 to still a 70,000 point lead for Meme into these 27 speeds, and another Tetris for Meme, Tetris for Dangler. Meme is into the 28 levels. Less than 10 lines to go now for Meme until the kill screen. Not quite clean, but not very dirty at all for Meme either. A bit more dirty for Dangler. We'll have a hole in this board. Takes a triple, gets the bar, gets the Tetris, brings this board down. He's going to be skimming into level 29 at A26. Meme in B20. Meme with a long bar dependency on the left hand side needs a bar and needs to get this 5-tap or the L. Gets the left hand side down a bit with that L double, gets the bar for the 5-tap. And Meme digging this board down. Dangler is Tetris ready. Has to block off the well though, needs a J, gets the J, will the bar come? Getting drafted, gets the bar, gets the Tetris. A77 for Dangler, B38 for Meme. Still a 60,000 point lead for Meme. Oh, as Dangler misdropping some pieces and is going to top out at A90. That was a sort of an artistic top out for Dangler. The S is just falling on his board all across. But Meme will be good with B89 and we'll take game number one. Solid effort indeed. Both players ready for game number 2. Let's get it started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Meme adding another flawless game to her CTL cap. 13 games in a row without a loss. Will then Dangler be able to cut that short in this second game? Dangler's going to be getting first Tetris. Meme taking some early skims up pretty high. Gets the bar for the Tetris. Now has an LJ dependency and an J dependency. Gets a bar for another Tetris. Bring this board down. Gets an L and a J. Very nice to fill in this board. But now needs stuff for that left hand side. That's the 2-line hole, gets a square to fill it up a little, and a J in the bar, going to be nice for Meme. Dangler taking a 4th Tetris already. The early slight lead for Dangler, and another Tetris for Dangler. Meme now waiting on a bar, takes a double, and another skim and a bar for Tetris to 99. Skim for Meme. Dangler also skimming, has another 3 wide bits. On that right hand side, gets the bar, gets the Tetris and a simul Tetris in fact. Nice L tuck for Dangler and a J tuck too. And a bar for a Tetris and a Tetris for Meme too. Dangler's board was a bit more erratic. That's that J tuck on the right hand side, gets the J to tuck. The S now nowhere to go though. Now bar dependency for Dangler, gets the bar, takes some more skims, opens it up again. Gets the bar, gets the Tetris, and briefly takes the real-time lead. Meme's going to take it right back with that Tetris. I know it's not. Actually, Dangler has the real-time and pace lead, ever so slightly. Ooh, the misplacement of that bar for Meme is going to cause her a bit of grief. Tetris for Dangler, extending this lead, and now about 2.5 Tetrises. Meme gets the split double. Some more skims here for Meme. Would love a J, as he is also going to do. Gets the bar for the Tetris, but now